Hello and good morning, everybody. We're gonna have a massive show. I must say, I inspired myself. I watched last night's show and I realized, I need to be doing that more often. It's what I used to do. It's what I'm good at, and I have an opinion, and people like to hear it. And God damn it, I liked to hear it last night too, man. When I took a shower today, I played last night's show, and I listened to what I said about the Young Turks and about Netflix and the Obamas and Susan Rice, and them talking about Donald Trump and obfuscating and not being honest. And I said, you know what? No one is doing that. No one else on the internet is calling out the Young Turks or anyone else on the left for ignoring what's going on with Netflix due to politics. And when you're willing to sacrifice the safety of children for your own fucking stupid vote that's not even going to make a goddamn difference in the fucking world, there's a massive problem. Hey, Stukes, I mentioned you in last night's show. You should go back and watch that. Hey, Donna, Bronco, Jay, Shelly, Jonah, Hippie Chick. And the rest. That's Billy, Sanford, Eddie, and Debbie. Hello, guys. Good morning. So I got something else for you. And last night's was about Netflix and the cancel. I guess you want to call it cancel culture. This one's about climate change. It's another thing that I know a lot about. And let me see. Do I have my... I think I have a delay on my voice. Let me just check really fast. Let me check my audio. It looks like there's a delay on my voice. Which could very well be. Delay. Yeah, I got delay on. Okay, that should fix it. Okay, sorry about the delay. It might fix here in a second. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's closer. That's better. It was only like a third of a second delay, but it's still enough for me to see. Good morning, good morning. Or could it be the pieces of shit setting fires? Netflix should be canceled by everyone in the known world. Or could it be the pieces of shit setting fires? It doesn't matter. As when someone sets a fire, we used to be able to put them out. It doesn't matter what causes the fire. I'm glad you brought that up right now, Jessica, because that's what I'm going to get to with what Tucker Carlson is talking about. He's talking about the cause. Who cares what causes it? I don't care if some man in a fucking silver suit that looked like a goddamn alien with a fucking backpack and a flamethrower is walking through the woods and setting these fires. It doesn't matter. If we were 10 years ago, we'd be able to put these fucking fires out. If it wasn't so hot and dry outside due to climate change, Jessica Pendleton, the fires wouldn't be raging out of control and there wouldn't be so many. Okay, so you're like obviously a Tucker Carlson fan or whatever. Great, I'm glad you're here. I'm about to eviscerate your boy. So watch as I fucking take him out at his knees and then fucking give him a headshot and fucking put him out of our misery. Ooh, that's some hip sounding music. It almost sounded like what was that show, 90210, and the one that followed it, Melrose Place? What is with the fucking Melrose Place music? What? Let's listen to that again. I feel like I'm about to watch an episode of Friends. Seriously. Wow, that's fucking weird, isn't it? I just think that's weird. I'm just going to point that out.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope, continue to sweep...
Did he just say unprecedented in their scope? Let's listen to Tucker Carlson say that over and over again. Maybe he'll hear himself.
Continue to sweep across... Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope. Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Continue to sweep across tonight. Massive... in their scope, continue to sweep across huge portions tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope, tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope, tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope, in their scope, in their scope.
He's
He's
drunk.
Welcome to Tucker Carlson.
He's slurring.
Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope.
You can't say unprecedented in their scope.
Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope. Continue.
That was kind of hard for him to say.
Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope.
So let's attack that. Tucker Carlson is telling you that massive wildfires that are unprecedented in their scope. They're unprecedented. What does that mean? It means we've never seen this before. It's unprecedented. It's never happened before. That's what that means. So he starts off in the first 10 seconds and negates everything else that he's about to say from that one statement at the very beginning. They're unprecedented in their scope. It's climate change. It's out of control. It's obvious, Tucker. We all know. But he's going to spend the next 15 minutes lying to his audience and lying to you to try to convince you otherwise. And yet, the first 10 seconds, these wildfires raging out of control, massive numbers and unprecedented in their scope. Why are they unprecedented in their scope? Because of arson? No, not because of arson. Man, do you know that the worst fire in California state history until this year was 410,000 acres? Go check and see what the Mendocino complex fire is at right now. And the first one to come back and tell me what the Mendocino complex fire is at, you're going to win. You're going to get me high, the first bong hit of the day. Who's going to go look that up, find out the biggest fire that's burning in the state of California, and tell me how many acres it has burned? And remember that the largest one in state history ever was from 2 years ago, or 2 or 3 years. I think it was 2 years ago. And it was 410,000 acres total. How many acres is this big fire at this year, guys? Let me know. Who's going to win? 410,000 acres. What's the next one? Brian, we're not talking about CNN right now. We're talking about this motherfucking liar on Fox News, okay, Brian? Don't obfuscate, Brian Montgomery. Don't come in here and try to do whataboutism. We're not, CNN isn't the one that are telling people that there's no climate change, you fucking idiot. Okay? All right? CNN's not denying climate change, ever. They got people on there talking about it all the time, you fucking idiot, Brian Montgomery. I just love it when people come on my live stream and say idiotic shit. We're not even discussing CNN, you fucking moron. Are you fucking kidding me? You're going to try to change the subject? I'm not going to change the subject for you, you lame dick. You fucking flaccid penis. Oh no, I guess Brian Montgomery does, Enoch. Eddie Haynes says 396,000 acres. That would be incorrect, Eddie. You would be incorrect. No. Not 300. There you go. Jonah Levi Cochran. Thank you. 877,000 fucking acres. And it's mid-September. We still have a month and a half of fire season, and it's the worst part. Right, you lost a zero off. Todd, you're wrong. Shelley, you're wrong. Jonah is correct. The largest fire burning is in the Mendocino National Forest right now, and it's over 877,000 acres. That's double the largest wildfire in the history of the state of California. Now you know the facts. Okay, that's the facts. And Tucker Carlson just literally gave you the facts when he said this.
Tonight, massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope.
Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope. That should be the headline, and that should be what he talks about. But instead, listen to what he does. Listen to what he goes on with.
Continue to sweep across huge portions of the West tonight. In Oregon, 500,000 residents have been forced to evacuate their homes. That's one of every 10 people in the entire state. Dozens are dead, including small children. But the fires still are not close to contained. Watch this report from Fox's Jeff Paul.
Months of tinder dry conditions added to days of high winds and hot temperatures, creating a perfect firestorm across the West. Hot temperatures, days of high wind. Months of tinder dry conditions added to days of high winds.
Months of tinder dry conditions. Months of tinder dry conditions. But there's no climate change, and it's just arsonists, guys. But it has nothing to do with the months of tinder dry conditions.
And hot temperatures, creating a perfect firestorm
and hot
across
temperatures.
the West. California is one of the hardest hit, with a record-breaking 3 million acres burned and nearly 4,000 homes and buildings lost so far.
3 million almost, guys. California has almost burned 3 million, and the majority of that is federal-owned lands. Donald Trump, come out here and bring the fucking National Guard and give them all rakes. Fucking Donald Trump, it's your goddamn responsibility. You're the federal government, you fucking jack fuck. Don't blame California for your land catching on fire.
A 12-year-old boy and his grandmother are among the latest
So
deaths.
sad, man.
The flames are spreading so fast, it really doesn't give people much time to get out. The fire's also taking a toll in Washington state, where more than 100 homes are gone. And a 1-year-old boy died as his family tried to flee the flames.
That's gotta break
And
your heart.
In Oregon, more than 35 fires are burning, with at least 5 small towns destroyed. Resources across the West are stretched thin.
It is.
Now, after a report like that, somehow Tucker Carlson is going to tell you, nothing to see here, folks. There's no climate change, and it's just a big lie that the left is spinning to make you afraid of Donald Trump.
Awful. And it continues as we speak right now. Walls of flame consuming everything in their path. Homes, thousands and thousands, untold numbers of animals, and of course, as we said, human beings too.
And he says all of that. And now listen to what he's going to tell you guys. And you should all be fucking shocked.
It is tragedy on a massive scale. When something this terrible happens,
Cyberstyle, no longer gunning cannabis, cannabis is for all. Happy 420, everybody cheers.
Aside for a moment, they consider how they can help. We've seen that kind of selflessness before in this country. This is, remember, the anniversary of 9/11. But there are others for whom altruism is an unknown concept. Self-interest is all they know. These people do not pause. They never do. They relentlessly press forward for any advantage under any circumstance, feel no shame for doing it. As Americans burned to death, people like this swung into action.
Hey, Sonia, no one said that arson had nothing to do with these fires, okay? No, I never said that. They weren't started. It's the start of the fires is inconsequential. Do you know the majority of fires in California were started by lightning strikes? Or do you not watch the news, Sonia? Just kind of wondering.
Immediately. They were on television with a...
Literally, the only place that humans could not get to is where most of these fires started. In the middle of the mountains, in the woods, untraversed, no roads, and you want to say that it's arson? Oh, okay.
partisan talking point. Climate change, they said, caused these fires. They didn't explain.
No one is saying that climate change caused these fires. Tucker Carlson is changing the narrative. He's trying to say that the left is blaming climate change for the start of the fires. No, we're blaming climate change for our inability to extinguish the fires. Does everyone get it? I should just end the show right now because I think I already proved my point. Look, if you think that I'm smarter or I'm a better person than Tucker Carlson is because I bring you honesty while he fucking sits here and spins a narrative and tries to lie and results in deaths of thousands of people eventually because they're not going to move because they don't think that there's fucking climate change, go ahead, press number 1 if you agree with me. Press number 1 if you agree with me and you realize that Tucker Carlson is a fucking liar. There's 28 people watching this. How many ones can I get right now? How many people agree with me? How many ones can I get you guys to press right now? Eddie, thank you. Alan, thank you. Hippie Chick, thank you. That's 3. Enoch, thank you. That's 4. Shelly, that's 5. Eddie, that's 6. Eddie, no, you already did. Ryan, that's 6. Thank you.
How exactly that happened. How
Billy,
did climate change
thank
do
you.
that?
Jonah,
They didn't
thank
tell
you.
us, but they just kept
8,
saying it.
9. Todd,
In the
thank you.
hands of Democratic politicians, climate change is like systemic racism in the sky. You can't see it, but rest assured it's...
You can't see climate change, but isn't it kind of funny that Tucker Carlson is literally sitting there saying that you can't see it while he's literally got videos of it happening right next to him, but you can't see it. You know, I want to hear Tucker Carlson saying you can't see it over and over again while it's right next to him. That's what I want to hear. You guys want to hear that? Press number 3 if you want to hear Tucker Carlson saying over and over again you can't see it while he's sitting next to fucking burning mountains of Duarte, California on Sunday.
It's everywhere. Kept saying it. In the hands of Democratic politicians, climate change is like systemic racism in the sky. You can't see it. Change is like systemic racism in the sky. You can't see it. Change is like systemic racism in the sky. You can't see it. Racism in the sky. You can't see it. Rest assured, it's racism in the sky. You can't see it. 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 Racism in the sky. You can't see it.
Well, Tucker, look right next to you. I promise you, if you just look, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see 3 million burning acres just in the state of California. If you just turn your head, just turn your little fucking cuck head over a little bit. You fucking Tucker Carlson piece of shit.
But rest assured, it's everywhere, and it's deadly. And like systemic racism, it is your fault.
Who is saying that climate change is our fault? Who is blaming us for climate change? Anybody know? I have yet to hear someone blame me for climate change. In fact, I happen to know that it's a fact that there's not a single person alive on the planet today who's responsible for the climate change that we're experiencing. There's not Exxon, no, not fucking BP, no, none of them. Do you realize that none of these people were involved in the banning of cannabis in 1937? You watch my show and I'll teach you about that, and you'll learn. This is why we're where we're at.
The American middle class did it. They caused climate change. They ate too many hamburgers. They drove too many SUVs. They had too many children.
Nobody said that. Nobody is saying that overpopulation caused climate change, Tucker. This is just the weird, when I watch these and I realize I need to do this because I've got a lot of Republican friends out there now that are following me on Twitter, and they need to see this for what it is. They need to hear me talking about it, and they need to know that this, when they sit there all proud of themselves and they love Tucker Carlson and they love everything he says, they're just simply not listening to him. You're not listening. You see this polished, young, orange spray tan, young, Trump wannabe, and you envision him as being your next leader, your next president of the United States. And just like Donald Trump, you're not actually paying attention to what the words are that he's saying. But let me tell you, I do. And I'm here to point it out to you, okay? And don't let it hurt your feelings. Just allow it to expand your knowledge of of reality, of the facts, okay? That's why I'm here. By the end of the month, 1% of California will be on fire? Really? God damn. I don't know how many total acres there are in the state.
A lot of them wear t-shirts to work and didn't finish college, and that causes climate change too. And worst of all, some of them may vote for Donald Trump in November.
Makes no sense.
And if there's anything that absolutely, definitively causes climate change, and literally over 100% of scientists...
I mean, if you want to deny climate change, you support Donald Trump. If you want to believe the lie, when Donald Trump says climate change is a hoax, it doesn't exist. It's a Chinese hoax. It doesn't exist. And yet, 3 million acres in your country, Donald Trump, are on fire. Yours is the country that's on fire, Donald Trump. Your house is burning to the ground, Donald Trump, and you're sitting there shaking your head saying it's everything's fine.
Agree with this.
There's literally a meme of some little cartoon character sitting in a house that's burning around them, and they're just sitting there saying everything's just great.
Established fact, it is voting for Donald Trump. You might as well start a tire fire in your yard. Joe Biden has checked the science, and he agrees with this. Yesterday, the people on Biden's staff who understand the internet tweeted out an image of the wildfires along with this message, quote, "Climate change is already here, and we're witnessing its devastating effects every single day.
True.
We have to get President Trump out of the White House."
Here, and I will finish the statement because Tucker Carlson won't, because it's the last few words of that statement that are the most important. And treat this crisis like the existential threat that it is. There's a little burning ember went in my garbage can. I'm just making sure it goes out. So Tucker Carlson doesn't want to read and treat this crisis like the existential threat that it is to you, because that would actually plant that seed in people's minds that Joe Biden actually is going to be more serious about climate than Donald Trump. So he doesn't want to read that. So I want you guys to witness literal censorship going on right in real time by Tucker Carlson. He thinks that if he doesn't read the words out loud, that they're not going to hit. He doesn't think that his audience knows how to read.
An image of the wildfires along with this message, quote, "Climate change is already here, and we're witnessing its devastating effects every single day. We have to get President Trump out of the White House," end quote. So once again, by voting for Donald Trump, you are causing climate change, which causes devastating fires. You, by your vote, have made hundreds of thousands of Oregonians homeless tonight. You've murdered people. Joe Biden's closest friend in the world, a prominent kite surfer on Martha's Vineyard called Barack Obama, echoed that message with his trademark restraint.
No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis is just for all. Cheers,
life depends on voting for Joe Biden. Well, hold on a minute, you might ask. Doesn't this very same Barack Obama own a $12 million spread right on the ocean in Massachusetts? At a time when sea levels are rising so fast we're about to see killer whales in the Rockies. Well, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like Barack Obama could be very concerned about climate change. And by the way, didn't Obama go to law school?
Didn't you go to law school, Tucker? You just got to love how Tucker Carlson and his fans, the people that watch him and believe him, are patting themselves on the backs, all laughing and having a good joke about all this. Do you hear how he's making all of these little jokes? Do you hear how he's joking around about something that is literally burning the western side of his beautiful country to the ground? And he thinks it's something, he thinks it's a political football. He thinks it's something you can grab a hold of, make fun of, and gain support for, while literally people are suffering all over this fucking country. I'm not even going to mention what else is going on.
When did he become a scientist? Those seem like reasonable questions. On the other hand, lawyers pretending to be scientists are now everywhere in the Democratic Party. Here, for example, is the governor of Washington State, Jay Inslee. Inslee's a proud graduate of Willamette University Law School. He's explaining that he's already figured out the cause of the fires. Watch.
And these are conditions that are exacerbated by the changing climate that we are suffering. And I do not believe that we should surrender these subdivisions or these houses to climate change exacerbated fires. We should fight the cause of these fires.
So I mismanaged my state, now it's on fire, you're required to give me more power. Right, you see.
So he's going to go after the cause, and that's interesting. I'm just going to say this. Lightning strikes were the cause of the fires in California this year. We had crazy lightning and crazy dry conditions. Now, we've had lightning before, okay? And in the past, when it wasn't so dry, lightning was hitting trees and the trees would catch on fire. Absolutely. They would burn to the ground and then the fire would go out, or the fire would go down into the ground, into the roots, and it would eventually burn out. Used to happen all the time. You can find trees like that in the woods that haven't been burned down yet, everywhere. Trees that have been hit by lightning and they didn't catch the rest of the forest on fire. As it got drier and climate change started affecting us in this way, lightning would now hit a tree, the tree would catch on fire, and all the trees around would catch on fire too, instantly. The fire, it was so dry, the ashes from that fire would just go to the next tree, and boom. And that's why climate change definitely is part of the cause of these fires. When it's lightning that hits a tree, and the tree used to not burn the whole forest down, and now it does, that's climate change causing the fires. This motherfucker doesn't get it, and if he does get it, he's lying to his audience, and he's dangerous as fuck. He is dangerous, and his lies will result in people dying. People that believe him and refuse to leave their homes They're going to die. They're going to burn up, man. It's not climate change. We're good. Tucker says it's all good.
See how that works. But as a factual matter, this is a crock. There is not a single scientist on Earth who knows whether or by how much these fires may have been, quote, exacerbated by warmer temperatures caused by climate change. All we have is conjecture from a handful of scientists and many politicians, none of whom has reached a definitive conclusion. Daniel Swain, for example, he's a climate scientist at UCLA, conceded recently that it's, quote, hard to determine whether climate change played a role in sparking the fires. Okay. That's what science is. It's gradual, it's incremental, often it's tentative. We don't say things we don't know for certain. It's the opposite of politics. They have nothing in common. Meanwhile, back in the material world, investigators have determined that the massive El Dorado, quote, hard to determine whether climate change played a role in sparking the fires. Okay. A handful of scientists and many politicians, none of whom has reached a definitive conclusion. Daniel Swain, for example, he's a climate scientist at UCLA.
You guys, he produces one guy, right? Now, let me tell you how this works. This climate scientist from UCLA, he's probably getting a big fat check from someone on the right with a lot of money to make him come out publicly, say, just lie. And then Tucker Carlson will take what one climate scientist says while America is burning to the ground, man, while pine beetles are having their way with pine trees all through Northern California and the rest of the world, and while lightning strikes are able to take a complete, cities worth of forests down. Like I said, lightning will hit in a place there's no way a person could get to. People are not hiking out there with a can of gasoline or a Bic lighter. It's just not happening. It's definitely lightning, and yeah, there's arsonists out there that are starting fires and taking advantage. Absolutely. And I don't know what the percentage is of arsonists to lightning strikes, but I do know this. We can't put the fires out. And Tucker Carlson can't deny that fact. But he's not going to talk about that, is he? He's not going to talk about how hard it is to put the fires out now. He's not going to talk about the fact that we've got the best technology ever in the history of mankind to extinguish these fires, and yet for some reason, we're having a harder and harder and harder time extinguishing the fires. But he is not going to discuss that.
Conceded recently that it's, quote, hard to determine whether climate change played a role in sparking the fires. Okay. That's what science is. It's gradual.
No, it's not science. It's not gradual. It's not science, you little fucking fart sniffing, shit eating grub from a goddamn center of a rotten fucking stump in a muddy swamp. That's what the fuck you are. It's not science when one paid off scientist lies to you, Tucker. That's called someone paid off and lying to you. He's that guy sitting in that house that's burning down saying everything's just fine.
Conceded recently that it's, quote, hard to determine whether climate change played a role in sparking the fires. Okay. That's what science is.
That's what science
it's gradual. It's incremental. Often it's tentative. We don't say things we don't know for certain.
He sounds like he's talking to a little child. We don't say things we don't know for certain. We don't say things we don't know for certain. 548. We don't say things we don't know for certain. We don't say things we don't know for certain. We don't say things we don't know for certain. We don't say things we don't know for certain.
Again, welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. Massive wildfires, unprecedented in their scope, continue.
We don't say things we don't know for certain. It's science, right? It's science, right? What'd you just say, Tucker?
Unprecedented in their scope.
Unprecedented in their scope, but we don't say things we don't know for certain. You fucking idiot. Like I said, I fucking take him out of his knees and then fucking headshot him.
Quote, hard to determine whether climate change played a role in sparking the fires. Okay. That's what science is. It's gradual, it's incremental, often it's tentative. We don't say things we don't know for certain. It's the opposite of politics. They have nothing in common. Meanwhile, back in the material world, investigators have determined that the massive El Dorado fire in California, which has torched nearly 14,000 acres, was caused by people setting off some kind of fireworks. And then on Wednesday, police announced that a criminal investigation is underway into the massive Alameda fire in Ashland, Oregon, the southern...
That's 2 fires, Tucker. How many fires are burning right now in the United States? Okay, Google. Currently, how many fires are burning on the west coast of the United States?
Here's a result from the web.
You guys ready? Ready for this? That says September 10th. U.S. West Coast wildfires. Nearly 100 fires run rampant. And he's going to tell you that there's two fires. There's 2 fires that were started by arson. 2 fires.
Just torched nearly 14,000 acres.
Just 14,000 acres. We're looking at 3 million acres, Tucker. You're talking about 14,000 acres from arson. We're talking about 3 million acres, okay? Take your fucking 14 million and fucking go away. You're an idiot. You guys share this in a large group in Facebook for me, please, and retweet this at Tucker Carlson right now. Retweet this video at Fox News. Retweet this video at Jimmy Dore. Retweet this video at Steph Zamorano, Miserable Liberal. Retweet this video at Ronnie Placone, at Ron Placone on Twitter. Retweet this video at Graham Elwood. Retweet this video at Real Tim Black. Retweet this video at Lee Camp on Twitter. Retweet this video at Kyle Kalinske on Twitter. Retweet this video at whoever the fuck you want to tweet it at. And start doing it right now. And let's see if we can get all of these people to talk about what an idiot Tucker Carlson is about this. Retweet this at the Rational National on Twitter. Retweet this at, look, it's a black atheist on Twitter. Retweet this at everybody. Everybody you possibly can.
Was caused...
Except for Michael Malice. Do not retweet this at Michael Malice. Do not retweet this at Michael Malice.
By people setting off some kind of fireworks. And then on Wednesday, police announced that a criminal investigation is underway into the massive Alameda fire in Ashland, Oregon, the southern part of the state. The sheriff there said it's too early to say what caused the fire, but he did say human remains were found at the suspected origin of it. So
yeah, it sounds like somebody's trying to cover up a murder, okay. Or someone committed suicide, or someone lit a fire and got overcome by it. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be fucking crazy if someone thought they could beat the fire and the fire fucking overcame them and killed them? Oh my God, that would be awesome. Man, I wish that on every arsonist in the world. I hope your own fire that you set kills you and then goes, and then your blood extinguishes the flames.
Nothing is being ruled out tonight, including arson. As always with these things, the more you know, the more facts, the more details you know, the more complicated it becomes. So serious people, and there are still some, are just beginning to gather evidence to...
You see, there are still some serious people, not people like me that experienced pine beetle destruction in my own yard, not serious people like me who've experienced the fires in California for the last 10 years, have experienced climate change firsthand. No, I'm not serious. I'm a fucking joke. He's the serious one. He's the one with mountains on fire next to him telling you that there's no evidence of climate change. He's the guy sitting in the house that's on fire.
To figure out how...
And it almost looks like the meme. If he was just superimposed on that fire, it would literally be that meme. And he'd sitting there saying, climate change is a hoax. How long are you going to do this for, Tucker? How long are you going to do this for, man? I think Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens should go back on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan should have me on to talk to the two of them about climate. And we can hash it out.
This started and thinking through how to prevent it going forward.
You need someone sitting there calling him on his bullshit.
Our media are giving voice to deeply unserious people, partisan people.
And this is why you should watch Rising with Crystal Ball and Sager. And I'm telling you what, right now. Because if Sager was sitting there spinning some right-wing talking point bullshit, Crystal Ball wouldn't fucking have it. And the same goes for if Crystal Ball was talking some left-wing bullshit, Sager wouldn't have it. That's why you guys should all watch Rising. They call each other on their bullshit, and they're fucking great, man. They're really nice people, and they're going to show you guys how to get along with people with opposing opinions. See, this is not... Me and Tucker aren't people with opposing opinions. What me and Tucker are is him lying to his audience and me debunking him and telling my audience the truth. That's the difference. It's not us having a legitimate disagreement on the facts. We're not. This is, when you've got 3 million acres burned, almost 3 million acres burned in the state of California, and it gets worse every year. At what year are you going to, are you going to be like Donald Trump? You watch, it'll get cooler. Just you watch. Are you going to be Donald Trump? It'll get cooler. COVID will you see, it'll just go away. Like a miracle. It'll just disappear. Donald Trump's words about COVID. Oh my goodness gracious. Are we in for a ride? We're in for a wild ride. And you know what? You guys know how to protect yourselves. And I'm not worried about my audience. I'm not worried about this fire right now. I'm not worried about you guys getting this COVID shit, because you guys watch my show. And that makes me feel good. So keep watching my show, everybody, okay? And I will expose this shit, and you guys make sure you get on Facebook and you get on Twitter and you share these and do your live streams and talk about my live stream like I'm talking about this shit. And pull my live stream up and talk about me on your podcasts. Please.
And they're on television, drowning out nuance. Don't worry about the facts, they say. Just trust us. The sky is orange over San Francisco because House...
He's literally saying the exact thing that that I'm saying about him right now. It's fucking psychotic. He just flipped it around completely 180 degrees, and he's talking about the orange sky.
Households making 40 grand a year made the mistake of voting Republican. Therefore, you must give us total control of the nation's economy. The Green New Deal. It's mandatory now. Watch amateur arson detective Nancy Pelosi explain.
Mother Earth is angry. She's telling us, whether she's telling us with hurricanes on the Gulf Coast, fires in the West, whatever it is, that the climate crisis is real and has an impact.
Mother Nature is angry? Please. When was the last time Nancy Pelosi went outside? Could she...
Oh, Nancy Pelosi is about the lowest hanging fruit. It's rotten fruit on the ground that stinks. And he's going after that. He's got nothing here, folks. When you're going after Pelosi, you got nothing. You know why? Because everyone knows Pelosi is a fucking cunt. Yeah, it's like, really? Oh, Pelosi? Oh, really, Tucker? Oh, wow. Are you going to tell me something I don't know? Oh, please. Go on.
She identify a single tree? No one asked her, of course. All we know is what she said. Climate change caused this. Of course it did. Because no matter what the natural disaster is, hurricanes, tornadoes, acne, whatever, climate change did it.
I will say this. I love how Pelosi wears all pink, like it's not gonna hide the fact that she's a stank cunt. Isn't that funny? Ugh. You wear all pink, is that supposed to make you look like you're not a stank cunt? It doesn't work, Nancy. We know you're a stank cunt. And Tucker Carlson, you are a stank cunt. Both of you. 2 stank cunts on my screen. Ugh. Jin Man, what's up, son? This is almost over, buddy, I promise. We're almost done here.
In other words, you did it. And to repent for doing it, you need to give us full control of your life. Now keep in mind the person telling Pelosi owns...
I just love how he's got the picture of her in front of her fucking, $50,000 refrigerator freezer with the fucking ice cream collection in it. I fucking love it. Like I said, super low-hanging fruit.
At least 2 sub-zero freezers.
Oh!
She showed them to us on television. Each one costs $10,000.
$20,000, my bad.
They use a lot of energy. And like Barack Obama, like Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi constantly flies around the country privately between her multi-million-dollar estates. So if she cared about climate change, of course, she wouldn't be doing that. She doesn't. And neither do her supporters. Otherwise, they'd be massed outside of her estates in anger. They wouldn't be trying to destroy the hair salon that exposed her hypocrisy. But it's not about science. It's certainly not about the earth. Again, these are people who don't go outside, who know nothing about nature. It's about blaming and ritually humiliating the American middle class for daring to elect someone they don't like. Joe Biden knows that the Pennsylvanians who'd be financially ruined by the fracking ban he supports are the same Pennsylvanians who flipped Pennsylvania red in 2016 for the first time in a generation. Think they're holding a grudge? You bet they are. One of the reasons Joe Biden doesn't go outside, because his handlers won't allow him, is because when he does, he has a tendency to show pure, undisguised contempt for the middle class he supposedly cares so deeply about. In 2019, you'll remember, he openly mocked coal miners. He suggested they just get programming jobs once they're all fired.
Right, I remember that. It's fucked up.
I come from a family where, in an area where it's coal mining in Scranton. Anybody could go down 300 to 3,000 feet in the mine, sure and hell can learn how to program as well.
Learn to code! Hilarious. Joe Biden should learn to code. Keep us posted on how that goes. But there isn't time for that. The world is ending. There's no time to pause and savor the deep layers of hypocrisy here.
Do you know that Tucker Carlson would almost be enjoyable if he just told the truth? He's funny, man, and he nails some shit. He fucking does. That's why it's so confusing to see how someone is so easily fucking bought off. You know, he's so easily bought off. The guy obviously knows that climate change is happening, man. You know what? I bet he's taking precautions for it. I bet that Tucker Carlson is literally sitting there lying to you out of one side of his fucking face, and out of his ass, he's saying he's taking precautions. He's getting a well dug. He's probably got solar at his home. He's probably not living on the coast like Barack Obama is, because he does know the oceans are rising. And he's sitting there lying because it's his job. And he's getting paid for it. And he's making a lot of money doing it. Please tell me that that's really what's going on. Please. Because the house is on fire, man. It's not just the roof. The roof. It's the fucking whole goddamn house, man. And,
Stop. We're too busy. We're measuring
Cheers.
our lives in minutes now. Last summer, Sandy Cortez did the math on all of this. She's good at math. And she calculated we only have 12 years left to live.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we...
I'm going to make a point on that. Too much wind. You know, AOC may have misspoke right there. I don't like her anymore. She's a bought cunt. I used to support her and I used to love her. I thought she was amazing. I even said I wanted to marry her at one point. And then I saw her for what she was, and it broke my heart. You broke my heart. You broke my fucking heart, you. You fucking broke my heart. You sit down and you shut up, you. You're going to take this and you're going to listen to me. You shut up, you. You're not very good. You're no good. Shut up, you. So, yeah, she misspoke when she said the world's going to end. Of course, she didn't think the world was going to come to an end in 11 years. What she was trying to say, and I believe that she was trying to say this, is that if we don't take action and start changing the way we're going in 11 years, it'll be too late. And then we'll eventually, go extinct. But, man, that time, everybody listened very closely to me. She's wrong about that. It was 1967. That was the year. Okay, we can't stop this. Okay, is no new Green Deal is going to stop it. Switching to electric and cutting all CO2 emissions, it's not going to stop it. CO2's levels are going to keep rising while we're all still alive, and it's going to kill the entire planet eventually. You know, the entire planet's going to burn up eventually. And there won't be humans here to put the fucking fires out. But I'm not going to get into that conversation right now. I just want you guys to know that, you know, this is way too little, way too late. I know a lot of you people that have grandchildren out there, you know, you're not going to watch my show now. You're going to disconnect. I watch the numbers drop immediately when I tell you guys hard facts like that, because it makes you sad inside your hearts. And I know it's hard to watch. I can't help you there. You know, this is reality.
We don't address climate change.
You know, I hope you stopped believing in Santa Claus at a very early age.
Like, this is the war. This is our World War II.
Yeah, that sounds bad. And we're sorry to wreck your night on a Friday, but actually it's worse than that. Much worse than that. Consider this. Just 4 months after she gave us that warning, Sandy Cortez tweeted that we only have 10 years to cut carbon emissions in half. So think about that. We lost 2 years in just 4 months. At that rate, we could literally all be dead unless Joe Biden wins in November, which is, of course, what they're saying underneath it all. On Tuesday, California Governor Gavin Newsom pretty much said it out loud. Newsom has abandoned science completely. He did it long ago. Science is too stringent for Gavin Newsom, too Western, too patriarchal. Newsom is now a man of faith. He's decided that climate change caused all of this, and that's final. He's not listening to any other arguments. Watch.
I have no patience, and I say this lovingly, not as an ideologue, but as someone who prides himself on being open to argument, interested in evidence, but I quite literally have no patience for climate change deniers.
Neither do I. That's why we're doing the show. I completely agree with what that man just said. I have no patience for you. There's no argument. I have the evidence right here in my yard. If you haven't been watching my show for the last few years, man, last 5-6 years or so, that's your fucking fault. You know? I don't have to change your fucking diapers. That's somebody else's fucking responsibility.
It simply follows completely inconsistent, that point of view, with the reality on the ground.
I'm not an ideologue, but anyone who disagrees with me must be ignored and eliminated. I don't want to hear any countervailing facts or evidence. No.
He doesn't need to. We live in the state of California. I live in Northern California. We literally live this every year. I live it every fucking day. Literally, a tree can fall on me and my dog at any moment in my yard from one of my neighbors that refuses to cut their fucking pine beetle trees down that are dead. They're just poles, 100 feet tall. And when they fall, they might fall into my yard and they might hit me, or they might hit one of my fucking nice trees over here. Or they might kill my dog or my cat. You know, I'm as much a fucking victim of climate change every fucking day as anyone on the planet is. I've been evacuated from this home 3 times. I've had to fucking hide from the National Guard that was right down at the end of my street. I've lived the shit, man. That was the same problem I had with the Young Turks. You know, I've been in rehab before. I've heard pedophiles. I've heard what triggers them. You guys don't know. You don't know the facts, Tucker. Okay? You don't live up here in the mountains. You don't fucking know the facts.
None. But I'm not an ideologue. So people like Gavin Newsom has announced they don't want to listen to climate change deniers, which raises the central question, what is a climate change denier? Well, a climate change denier is anyone who thinks a ruling class has done a very poor job running their states, running their country, protecting the people they were hired to protect and watch over. So are we climate change deniers if we point out that the state of California has failed to implement meaningful deforestation measures that might have dramatically slowed the spread of these wildfires? Does that make us deniers? Because in 2018, a state oversight agency in California found that years of poor or non-existent forest management policies in the Sierra Nevada forests had contributed to the fires. One of the few Republicans who still holds to implement meaningful deforestation measures that might have dramatically slowed the spread of these wildfires? Does that make us deniers? Because in 2018, a state oversight agency in California found that years of poor or non-existent forest management policies in the Sierra Nevada forests had contributed to the fires.
There's 100 fires burning all over the state of California. Is the Sierra Nevada causing them in every spot? Is the Sierra Nevadas in fucking the Mendocino? Is the Sierra Nevadas the ones that cause the fucking complexes over here? What? Oh, that's right. No, that's not the cause of those fires. These fires are breaking out everywhere. They're just saying that the Sierra Nevadas and mismanagement on federal land, federally mismanaged land, I might add, is the cause of some fires. Not all 100 fires in the state of California that are burning right now.
One of the few Republicans who still...
There's 100 fires burning in the state of California right now. Or on the west coast of the United States, I should say. Right? It's not the state of California. I'm sorry. The west coast, I believe.
Still holds elected office in that state, State Assemblyman Heath Flora, last year called on using the state's $22 billion budget surplus, probably the last one in its history, to implement vegetation management, because fires don't obviously spread as well if they're not connected by huge forests, which function as kindling. All of that is obvious, which means you can't say it out loud. The natural world, facts, nature itself is anathema to ideologues like this. The same people telling you they're protecting nature hate nature, everything about nature. Presumably you're also a climate change denier if you point out that 6 of the Oregon National Guard's wildfire fighting helicopters aren't in Oregon anymore. Where are they, you might wonder? They're in Afghanistan.
I wonder if he thinks that those 6 choppers would make a difference all around the state and would put all these fires out. Because I got news for you. They wouldn't.
So instead of dropping water to suppress the blazes, the Chinook helicopters are busy supplying a war effort that's been going on for nearly 20 years for no reason.
So how long have those choppers been over there, Tucker? 20 years? I don't know. He should probably tell us. Hey, nice avatar there, Carson. I like that.
So how'd that happen? And what's the effect of it? Those might be good questions to ask of, I don't know, Gavin Newsom, Jay Inslee, Governor of Oregon. Does anyone even care? And the answer, of course, is no. Nobody cares.
Isn't the federal government the one who took those choppers away? Isn't it the federal government? Why is California getting blamed for a war that California is not fighting? Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Don't you think that's weird what Tucker Carlson just said? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Don't you guys think that's fucking weird? I think it is. I think it is. I think it's fucking weird. It's weird.
About the details. At all. They don't care about the lives of the people they govern. They don't care about facts. They don't care about science. It was just last week that the mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, admitted on the record that LA has become completely third world. Which it has, unfortunately. Of course, Garcetti didn't blame himself for the degradation of one of the great American cities that he runs.
Really, third world? He's asking people to conserve energy. That's third world? Last I checked, they still had sanitation, power, and water. You know, Tucker Carlson is a fucking idiot. What are you even talking about right now, dude? I'm running out of energy to deal with this motherfucker. I really am. Hey, if you think that I've already done my job and I've eviscerated this motherfucker, press number 1. How many ones can I get in agreement that I have eviscerated Tucker Carlson in this conversation?
No, he blamed you. You did it. Quote, It's almost 3 p.m., Garcetti tweeted. Time to turn off major appliances. Set the thermostat to 78 degrees or use a fan instead. Turn off excess lights.
Thank you, David.
And
Thank you, Shelley.
unplug any appliances you're not using. We need every Californian
Cannabis Coop.
to help conserve energy. Please do your part.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh, you gotta wonder if you were able to go to Garcetti's house, which you're not. Can't get past the bodyguards you pay for. But if you were, is he following these recommendations? No. But it's not about him.
Thank you, Randy.
It's about the people he's supposed to be helping, the ones he's now blaming. He wants them to suffer to fix a problem that he and his fellow Democrats in California created.
Thank you,
Even
Aaron.
now, as residents are facing sweeping power outages in
Bubble.
addition to the wildfires. In the meantime, Gavin Newsom has vowed that 50% of the energy in California, 50% of their grid, will be based on, quote, renewable sources within a decade.
Carson,
that means sources like wind and solar power. The truth is, you can't dial up wind or solar in moments of extreme demand. Moments like right now, during the heat wave sweeping California. Newsom was asked last month whether he would consider revising his stance, given that the blackouts have left millions of Californians without power and presumably killed people, because that's what happens when you don't have electricity. And Newsom responded this way, quote, "We are going to radically change the way we produce and consume energy." In other words, no, we're not changing. In other words, the blackouts will continue until morale improves.
Okay, no, they won't. The blackouts won't continue. There's no blackouts. They're asking you to turn your fucking thermostats, up a little bit and to take one for the team a little bit to kind of help the whole situation. Everybody is home right now. It's a COVID scare. People are using a lot more energy and a lot more water in their homes, and they're just asking people to try to be a little bit more conservative. And I totally understand that. Tucker Carlson is saying, "Oh, it's third world country. You guys have to, the revolution will not be televised. Blackouts shall, and you're just like, ugh. Cringe, 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 cringe. It is so fucking cringy. Just wait a moment. Wait a moment. Just wait a moment. 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 Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. Wait a moment. Is that bad that I love that song? Is it bad that I love that song? Who can go to the YouTube video from the Young Turks for me right now? Go find the YouTube video of the Young Turks that I commented on last night. It says, I believe the name of the video is "Why Cancel Netflix is Trending Right Now." Find that video and tell me how many thumbs ups to how many thumbs downs ratio it is, please. And I really appreciate it if any of you guys could do that. I really, really, really do. All right, so Cyber Style, it's 7:10. No law regarding cannabis. Cannabis hesitance for all. Cheers, everybody. This shit just happens in my brain. I wasn't even looking at the clock, man. And look at that shit. Lee Camp's going to be on the show, guys. Lee Camp a week from tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And wait a moment, Saber Soap, wait a moment. Jerry, you're hilarious. Wonder how my buds are curing in that bin. Bin! Let's check it out. Let's check out the bin, shall we? Ooh, there's a little bit of good vibrations going on here in my phone. Good, good, good. Good vibration, the good vibrations. Me talking about next vibration. Me about my good vibrations. Good, good, good. Good vibration. Me about my good vibration. Good, good, good. Good vibration. Me about my good vibration. Be ba 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 boom ba ba be do be be do be 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 do. Rick Beato. You guys should all be following Rick Beato on YouTube. It's Rick Beato. All right? Check him out on YouTube. Let him know that Nay's Garden sent you. All right? Hey, I heard back from Steph Zamorano on Twitter, everyone. Oh my God, she's coming back to the show too. Holy shit. Oh my God. I told her I just freaked on my podcast. Oh my God! Steph Zamorano's coming back, everybody! I'm so excited. So end of this month, she says. She's got something she's doing, and she's real busy right now. But she wasn't so busy that she couldn't contact me back. Oh, yay. Oh. Oh, man. She contacted me back within 24 hours. God, man. Oh my God. God, man. Oh, look. My Biza. Unreal. Nobody does Beazle anymore, pal. So I put, I'm using hot water on a paper towel and then a dry paper towel to clean his ear every morning. And he doesn't like it. At first he tries to scratch for a minute and then it seems to work. Got to take him back to the vet and get him back on the goddamn antibiotic, whatever it is. It doesn't go away on its own, I guess. They have to put him on an antibiotic. How's his ears? They're not the worst they've ever been. But bad enough that it still bothers him a little bit from time to time, and I have to, if I don't maintain them, they'll get bad. I have to maintain them. I have to stay on top of it. Let's see the buds. Steven. They are right here. You guys come over here with me in the blue tent. Oh yeah, I wanted to do that. I was gonna go check them, and then I forgot what I was doing. Isn't that funny? All right, let's go check it out. You used the bomb, but bad with anti-bioca. It's not. I don't have antibiotics in my. There's no antibiotics in the pain oil. It helps soothe his ear. I didn't put any in there today. I didn't put any triage oil in his ear. But yesterday I put a fucking ton in his ear. I put so much in there. I covered his whole ear, and it soothed him. He was fine. He was fine. So if it starts bothering him, I'll cover his ear again with it. Question, Nay. I see people that pick all the leaves off their plants to wear their just. I know. Yours are full with all the leaves. What's your thoughts, Stephen Oakler? Well, Stephen Oakler, who are you gonna pay attention to, bro? Are you gonna pay attention to the people that pick all the leaves off, or are you gonna pay attention to the guy that's growing those? It's up to you, Steve. I'm not gonna make up your mind for you. That's on you, bro. You know, that's for you to decide. Look at their plants, and how do their plants compare to my plants? Bin. Doesn't smell that good. But I bet you if I trimmed off those stems and leaves, it would smell a lot better. But I guess that's how it's got to be, because I'm going to leave it like that. Steve, you're not trying to put nutrients in the buds, Steve. You're putting nutrients in the soil. You're feeding the soil, you're not feeding the plant, okay? Steve, you're listening to fucking idiots. Watch my show and stop listening to the fucking idiots you've been. I was trying to be nice about it. Stop listening to idiots, okay? All right. You guys, I will see you later. Today, probably. Enjoy your days. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember to check out Ron Placone. It's ronplacone.com. Ron Placone on YouTube. It's Get Your News On with Ron. At Ron Placone on Twitter. And let them know that I sent you. Steven, I'm telling you, keep watching my show. And whatever fucking other idiots you heard that from, don't listen to them anymore. Only listen to me. You're listening to fucking idiots. All right. Bye, guys. And remember, Lee Camp is going to be here a week from tomorrow, noon Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lee Camp is going to be here with us. Fucking A. And then by the end of the month, Steph Zamorano from the Jimmy Dore Show. Both of them fantastic stand-up comics. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right. Bye, guys.